It's a story from one of our maraja who passed away over 100 years ago, was a prominent alim and was the marja' al-a'la at that time. Yes, he was the marja' after Ayatollah Ansari. His name was Ayatollah Mirza Hassan Shirazi. He, rahmatullahi alayhi, moved the Hawza towards Samarra. He established the Hawza in Samarra. He famously issued the fatwa against tobacco, using tobacco in Iran, because it would support the British and they had a plot. So he said, anyone who uses tobacco, this Tatar, yes, will be tantamount to fighting the 12th Imam. So he issued this. He has a very interesting story in his life. I'd like to quickly mention it because it has relevance to our lives. 3 businessmen came to him from Iran and said to him, Sayyidina, we have gathered some money to rebuild the shrine in Samarra and in Iraq, the shrines of Al-Hilli. We are going to Hajj. When we return, we would like to spend this money to renovate under our supervision. But we don't want to take this money with us to Hajj because it might get lost. It's quite a bit. Can we leave it with you? He says, you can, but I have a trusted accountant. His name is Ja'far. You can leave the money with him. Inshallah, when you come back, I trust him. He will give you your money. They said, very well. They came to this Ja'far. They said to him, you are the accountant of the marja'. Can we leave this money with you? He said, very well. Each one of them gave the money and they left. It so happens that when they were in Hajj, this Ja'far unfortunately had a heart attack and he passed away. When they returned, they said to the marja', Sayyidina, where is our money? He said, this man Ja'far, he passed away suddenly and he had not written down where he left. So can you forgive him? They said, no, it's a huge amount we have gathered. We want to rebuild the shrines. He said, okay, search, ask his son. 2 out of 3 of the businessmen found their money. The third couldn't. But Ja'far, marhum, had buried it somewhere and he had not made a note of where he buried the money. So this man was very upset. He said to the marja', I cannot go back home having not fulfilled what I have come. And it's a large amount of money. Is there a way that I can ask him in Alam al-Barzakh? He said, there is. But you have to do exactly what I ask you to do. Yes? He said, how? He said, he's buried in Wadi Salam. You go on Thursday, you fast, you do these a'mal, and maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enable you to get a message somehow of where he's kept the money. You're still with me, the story, yes? Yes? He said, I will do. He went to Wadi Salam. He did the a'mal. He did everything. Nothing. Went back to Samarra. Maulana, I could not see anything. I could not hear anything. I slept. I did not see anything. So the Sayyid, the marja', Mirza Hassan said, then maybe his soul is not in Wadi Salam. Maybe his soul is in Hadramaut, Wadi Barhut. You know where that is? Where is it? Yemen, yes. So he said, you have to go there to do this a'mal. All the way to Yemen. Yes. He said, I will do. As long as I get my money. Okay, he went. He did the a'mal. Yes. And what happened? On that night, he went to sleep. He said, in my sleep, I saw this particular individual engulfed in fire, being chained by the malaika, being whipped with what? Balls of fire, screaming in agony. When I looked at him, I said, Hajj Ja'far, where is my money? He said, it is this in corner in my house in the garden. But please, I beg you, don't leave me without helping me. Go and seek pardon of my neighbor. He says, that's all he said. And he was pulled back into the gulfing flames of Jahannam, of Barzakh. He said, I woke up, I was sick for a few days for the sight that I saw. I made my way back to Samarra. I explained to the marja' what I saw. I went and I found my money there. But now the problem wasn't the money, it was to help him. How am I going to help him? His state in Barzakh is very bad. So what did I decide to do? I decided to go and seek his neighbor. The marja' said, I will come with you. Marja' al-Taqleed, alim, he said, I will go. They both went, knocked on the door of the neighbor of whom? Which neighbor? The accountant. Alhamdulillah, one person is still with me. Yes? They went to the accountant, neighbor. They were welcomed. So the neighbor said, I am so privileged. The marja' al-Taqleed has come. It's amazing. You have come to visit me. What can I do? He said to him, do you remember a few months ago, my accountant, your neighbor, died? He said, yes, I remember him. He said, are you not happy with him? He said, no. He said, why? He said, Maulana, my daughter was supposed to get married a few years ago. Someone came, proposed, but he went and asked people in the community about her. How is her reputation? Is she a good lady? Back in the time, there was no Instagram. Yes. So he went to ask. He asked my neighbor, Hajj Ja'far. This is the moment. Now, if you're switched off, switch back on. Yes. He asked the neighbor, what do you think of your neighbor's daughter? I want to get married to her. Hajj Ja'far had an intention to marry his son to that girl. So he looked at him and says, not sure. Ma adri in Arabic. Not sure. Which gave an idea that there is something wrong with her. But he didn't say anything. He just said, not sure. That man decided, I will not marry. I'm not sure that this person maybe have something. I don't know what it is. Then everyone started asking, why is the marriage not taking place? He said, oh, there must be something wrong. So now the community is gossiping that there is something wrong with this poor girl and there's nothing wrong with her. Or at least that we know. He said, Maulana Sayyidina Marja'. My daughter now in her 40s, she's not married because look at her reputation in the community for something that it does not exist. And all it started with this madri, I'm not sure. But he said it in a way that insinuated that there is something wrong with her. Sayyid said, now he's being punished in Barzakh because of these two words. I ask you to think in this month of Ramadan, how many ma'adris have we said in our lives? How many statements like this have we uttered? How many times we have spoken ill of others or have damaged their reputation? But it's in a moment of realization that we are going to be held accountable for the words that we utter and the words that we type these days. Because today, many mu'minat think, you know what, mashallah, I'm a very good akhlaq when it comes to face. But online, la hawla wa la quwwata. What I put comment, where I attack this alim or this speaker, what I dissect the lives of others, no problem. Because it's text, Maulana. What do you mean text? The Prophet of Islam used to sit on the minbar before he mentions the majlis and he recites the following verse. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullah wa qulu qawlan sadida. Oh, you who believe, be God conscious and say what is upright. Meaning, every word you will be held accountable. Waqifuhum innahum mas'ulun. The purpose is not to scare you. The purpose is to awaken us to the realization of what is it that we're doing so that we stop doing and ask pardon and forgiveness from others.